Welcome back. Keri Glassman is a renowned celebrity nutritionist, healthy cooking expert, and wellness thought leader. She is the founder and CEO of Nutritious Life, a lifestyle and media company devoted to helping individuals discover and live their most nutritious and happiest lives. She joins us now with 3 easy, nutritious ways to use your afternoon snack time to manage your stress. Welcome.
It's so nice to be here, and managing stress is something we all need to be doing these days.
100%, and I know that as the day goes, I wake up, I'm feeling great, but like once 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that stress just hits me in my gut. So what did you bring here today that could help us manage the stress?
Okay, well, because what happens is when we're stressed, our hormone cortisol, the stress hormone, increases. And what that does is that causes us to crave usually not only carbohydrates, but usually the worst kinds, the sweets, the refined carbohydrates, cookies, cakes. And what happens then is you actually then gain weight even more easily, and then specifically in the midsection. So we want to keep our cortisol down, but we also want to manage what happens when it does increase. So instead of going for those cookies and cakes and things, go for complex carbohydrates. So I have an example just right here. I have some oatmeal. So something even like a little overnight oats, and then I have brown rice. So what happens is complex carbohydrates help increase serotonin, that feel-good hormone. So that can help relax you. So even like a little bit of leftover brown rice with some vegetables as a snack, but just complex carbohydrates in general is going to be helpful for increasing the serotonin.
So not all carbs are bad.
Oh, not at all. That is a given.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm glad you brought that point up. Perfect point. So the next thing I have an example of here is the reason I have the red pepper, the yellow pepper, and then the oranges for citrus is that vitamin C, we know, is a powerful antioxidant. One thing it also does, though, is it helps lower the levels of cortisol in our body. So it actually helps flush that cortisol out of our bodies. So really important to get in those vitamin C foods. And of course, also we know that it's supportive of the immune system and good for a whole variety of reasons. Sure. Okay, and then also another thing I want to mention is that vitamin C you're going to find in greens as well. So it's not just in citrus and greens. So getting those greens in whenever you can is also important because it has folate. And folate also can help manage the levels of serotonin in your body as well. So really important, again, for that serotonin and the vitamin C to get those greens in. And then I have an example here. I have nuts. These are cashews, and cashews are high in zinc. And zinc also is really important for the body and the brain to manage stress. So making sure you get in those foods high in zinc are really important.
What about that crunch? When we crave the crunch, I mean, the nuts are great.
Yeah.
Like a true crunch, something like a chip, right? But what can we do instead?
But we don't want to go for those chips. We don't want to go for those chips. So yes, so something like the cashews would be fabulous, but also something I love to recommend is celery and carrots and cucumbers, which I have some example of cucumbers right here. Now, not because, they're low in calories, but because of exactly what you just said, the crunch, that visceral reaction you have, that crunching, right, is actually helpful in terms of reducing stress. So just crunching alone can be really helpful to just sort of calm you down a little bit.
And celery, cucumbers, also great for the smile. It's kind of like a car wash for the teeth. The fiber in there really cleans the teeth. So.
Yes, I have learned that before. I love that tip. That's great. And then another thing I love, of course, is tea. And here I have traditional medicinals, lemon, ginger, and then organic, the peppermint probiotic tea. I love both of these, but first I want to just mention that the act of making tea alone is calming. Just the act of making that tea. So I love that, and just sipping it slowly, taking that moment to de-stress during your day. I love this lemon ginger one too because of that citrus in there. It has the lemon balm in it. And again, we already talked about the benefits of citrus. And then the peppermint probiotic tea I love also because it has that earthy peppermint flavor. It's really delicious, but also it has the probiotic added to it. And we know that probiotics are good for our gut health. And we know that maintaining a good, healthy gut and maintaining a healthy microbiome, we know that the gut is connected to the mind, right? And that 95% of our serotonin is made in the gut. So focusing on our gut health is super important as well. And so being able to do it at tea time is sort of a bonus.
That's amazing. The tea, an amazing point. taking the time, right? I always tell my patients, just give yourself like 3 minutes, 5 minutes during the day to help you de-stress. A lot of them have this TMJ disorders. They take 5 minutes, and they're like, well, how do I find it? It's the tea.
Exactly,
Make yourself
taking the tea. Make the tea, sip the tea, and you can also take a moment or two to even do a little meditation during that time, and that's something else, just taking a mindful moment, doing even, like you mentioned, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, doing a meditation for that period of time. There's so many different apps that you can use to actually do a real meditation during that time. So lots of things you can do in the afternoon to just take it down a notch.
I loved these healthy tips. Great stuff. Thank you, Keri.
You're so welcome.
We'll be right back.